Followers of the path, welcome to the way of the joystick. And guys, I have to say sorry, haven't had a chance to stream. Been very busy with doing a couple other things, but I will be back on gaming. A lot of streaming coming your way. I promise you that. But what I thought I'll do, guys, I'll talk about my five toughest boss fights in the last 3 years when I got back into gaming to date, basically. So number five, as you can see on the screen, Sephiroth. Sephiroth is one of the greatest designed villains in gaming history, I have to say. He is legendary in terms of, I feel like he was pivotal to the success of Final Fantasy VII, but even more so in Kingdom Hearts, Smash Brothers, implementing him into that. And in the remake, he was a very, very formidable foe. In terms of his boss fight, it was very, very intense. He had this thing where he'd walk towards you really slowly, then just fly towards you like a rush attack. He had flurry attacks, which were very fast, powerful sweeps. It was very intense fighting Sephiroth in the remake, and I can only imagine in part two how it's going to be when you really get to fight him at his best. But that was a very tough fight. That is fifth on my list. Number four is Kashin Koji in Neo 2. This guy was ridiculous. The amount of skills, the amount of magic abilities he has when he duplicates himself into that 8 or 12 of himself, that there's two phases to the fight. It was intense. It really was. I was literally sweating towards the end of this fight when I finally done it. I think it was 10 times in a row. The pad was wet with sweat. My forehead was wet with sweat. It was intense. One little slip up in this fight and it will cost you everything. And yeah, without a doubt, hardest fight in the game. Well, I should say hardest main boss fight in the game because Ancient Tengu, that's a whole nother ball game. And Yoshitsune is pretty difficult too. Nightmare Bringer, so on and so forth. But yeah, Kashin Koji in terms of the main game, hardest boss, and number four on the list. Number three is a surprise for some people, I'm sure, but Lavenza in Persona 5 Royal is a very, very annoying strong boss. Now, not only will you need skill, this is the problem with this, you will need luck to beat her because there is four phases. Yes, four phases to this boss fight. First phase, I think you got to do elemental damage. Second phase, you have to do technical damage. The third phase, you have to score a knockdown on her. And the fourth phase, I think you have to, I think it's just all out on the fourth phase. But if you do not hit those requirements or do a certain amount of damage in each phase, she will end the fight. And when I mean she will end the fight, it's not that she'll do a massive attack and you might survive it. She will end the fight. And it was very annoying. I think I was stuck on this boss fight for about a week or two. Yeah, very intense. Lavenza, I love you and hate you. Number two is the Nameless King, one of the most difficult bosses in gaming history. And I did not understand that, guys. The reason why I did not understand that is because I think when I got to the second phase, I think on my second attempt at the fight, I got to the second phase and I got him down to, I think I took 75% of his health. So he only had 25% health left. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this in another run. Guys, it took another eight. It was stressful. It was intense. Even the run after that good one, I didn't even get through the first phase. I probably got like 5 hits in on the first phase and I was dead. And I struggled to even get through the first phase again. It is a lottery beating the Nameless King. It really is. He is just ruthless. He leaves you no opening. You have to probably get hit to take a, you have to take a hit to give a hit. It's intense. Like it is a really difficult boss fight. The camera angles in the first phase will fuck you, like they fucked me. And yeah, the second phase is just relentless. But I done it. Yeah, it was a tough fight, and it was so satisfying when you do finally beat him, and yeah, you just feel relieved. So yes, number two, Nameless King, Dark Souls 3. And last but certainly not least, is Lady Butterfly. Guys, this bitch had me crying. Yeah, literally had me crying. I'm not afraid to say, but it's more of what I done to myself. So let's look at the background first. This is Sekiro, very difficult game. I am not usually one to parry. I like to dodge, move out of the way, and attack. Up until that point in this game, that's how I was moving. With every boss I fought, with every enemy I fought. With this fight with Lady Butterfly, unless you cheese it, you have to learn to parry. And that's something that I couldn't really get around, the timing of the parry. And she literally took advantage of me for a very, very long time. I was suffering. She has two phases. I think after an hour or two, I got to her second phase. She had one more hit left. One more hit left, guys. I figured out her patterns, everything. It was fine. I had probably like two or three more hits until I would have died. I decided to use an item which takes 2 seconds to use. Whilst I was doing that, she killed me. I was so angry with myself. I said, "You are not going to sleep tonight until you beat her." 6 hours later, I had work the next day, luckily in the afternoon, but 6 hours later, day breaking in the UK, I had not beaten this bitch. Now, I did take a break. I'm not going to say it was 6 hours straight. I think around 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, I tried to sleep. I saw her in my dreams. I had to wake up and avenge that. I couldn't do it. At 6 a.m., I had tears in my eyes saying, "What the hell has happened? What the fuck am I doing? Let me go to sleep." I woke up at 9 o'clock and beat her on my first attempt. However, I still have trauma now of butterflies and trauma of Lady Butterfly. I'm going to need therapy to get over this. But in all seriousness, it was really intense, tough, stressful. Like I said, I had tears in my eyes because I was up for 6 hours trying to beat her, couldn't do it. Slept a bit, woke up, and was able to avenge those countless hours. But yeah, guys, that's my 5 toughest boss fights in the last 3 years. Until next time, family.